Sean Black, and we are tuned into another. I was posted with Sean Black, and I think I'm gonna go back to my original YouTube 310 TV, and we are live once again. We just had some grilling, we just been chilling, eating, reminiscing, and it's that time to join us on the podcast / interview. First up today, we got our boy all the way from San Diego, Mr. Jordan Cruz.
What's happening, fellas?
Man, one of the newest.
Term of endearment.
There we go. And then one of the newest, hottest tag teams on the scene, we got the Ringworms. We got Baron Rotza and Rob. Is it Rob?
You
shit.
tell me. You said you're the hottest tag team. You don't even say my name.
No, the censors, but hey, okay, we'll let that slide. Rob Shits, Baron Rotza, the Ringworms. Welcome.
Boom!
I love that intro. All right, so first off, the tradition. I think I'm gonna do burgers today, but next podcast I gotta chill. But how was the food? How's the food so far?
Fire, bro.
It was free.
Yeah, man, we really be grubbing, man. I'll be really on the grill, treating wrestlers real good. You know what I'm saying? And just having a good time, reminiscing, and we're eating some good food, catching up, and we're gonna introduce you to just some new things coming onto the scene. All right, first up, we got Jordan Cruz out of San Diego. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna just a little bit about yourself, bro. And all right, so where you start from? Where you start training at?
I started training at SoCal Pro down in San Marcos, and I bounced around a couple places because you gotta switch it up. Staying in one place staying stagnant, that's not really me. But so I've also trained down to level up under B-Boy as well as Noki Dojo, and kind of use that to formulate what I got going on. So
Good. Around the table, we got Baron Rotza.
Is it recording?
Yeah.
Right now.
this guy.
Oh, shit.
This guy.
All right. Ask this question.
We're Santino's boys, man. Just like you. Trained for a year straight without ever taking a match. And I started working some singles. I debuted right before Rob, and we just kind of fucking clicked. Sorry about that for I swear a lot.
No. We're just gonna keep it real. We good to go.
I say fuck a lot, so I'm trying to keep that down. But yeah, I don't know. We're just two scummy guys. I'm like, I'm scummy. Let's be scummy together.
So
That's not how it happened whatsoever. Nobody else wanted to wrestle with us.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted to book us. I got ringworm. They didn't let me debut. And then they were like, I guess we'll put these two guys together.
And I'm like, we should be the Ringworms. It's a good name. And he's like, I don't want to be the Ringworms. I had Ringworm. But eventually he realized.
I didn't sound like that. I don't know.
Yeah. But eventually he realized it's a really good name. So yeah, then we became the Ringworms. And we pretty much, we work singles here and there, but we're trying to really push the tag team thing and just fucking, you book me, I'm trying to get him booked. We're trying to get each other on these shows. We're about to go to Milwaukee in December as a tag team. Trying to do the whole fucking tag team unit thing.
Yes, sir. My man.
Yeah, he said it all. I'm the better wrestler. I'm the better looking one. My shoes are nicer.
One of those two things is true.
My shoes are really nice.
Look at my Jordans. Look at my fucking
Jordans.
Jordans.
But yeah, dude, straight out of Santino's. Taking names and kicking ass. And, tag team wrestling. Just trying to be the worms, putting all the other teams in the dirt.
Oh, watch out. I love it. It's cool. One of the reasons I'm glad we all came because, it was a lot of, I talked about it before, there's some drama and issues. Me personally in SoCal, and, things changed up a little bit, and I was able to meet a lot of people who with similar mindset, just, just the guys that want to work, they don't care about all what's going on and all that. These cats were a bunch of fresh air, you know what I'm saying? And glad to have them on the podcast. Jordan, so, you got I love the ladies gimmick, the little twirl, we got a little Rick Rude,
Sure.
got a, you know what I'm saying? Ladies is feeling you. I even heard you the new Tom Cruise. I've heard that. So what inspired you? What inspired you, man? Where did Jordan Cruz come out? Where did the hips? Where did everything come together?
I started out being strictly. I was a pure gimmick guy, and it was all football.
Jock, right?
Yeah, full athlete, the Letterman jacket, the whole works. I put the face paint, the coach's playbook, the penalty flags and stuff, and then it just boiled down. Every time I go out there, all the ladies would go woo, and all the guys were like, oh come on, So and I just was like, okay, let's play to that, and so I just started. Anytime I got to go out there and be an asshole, I just go out there and be an asshole. I just go and flex my muscles or whatever.
That's so natural.
That was it.
Being an asshole. It's
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
natural.
It's almost like it's just how I am.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah. Baron, your roots. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it's kind of the same thing. I started doing more of a character, which was still part of me. Just this obsession with glory and living forever, and like it was a little more.
Living forever. This guy's drinking.
That's
Well,
a
it's
great
not
job
helping
right
you
now.
do.
You live forever. You live forever metaphorically. You live forever in the memories of everyone by doing really fucking wild shit. That's what I mean by live forever, and keep living after you die. But that got abandoned, and eventually just kind of just started being myself, and like I'm just a scummy, dirty, nasty, disgusting son of a bitch. And so like in wrestling, it's encouraged. You fucking go out there and you grab your nipple and your cock in like the bus station, they're gonna call the cops on you. But you do it in the wrestling ring, then it's encouraged. Bro.
Yeah, I went to the store wearing my underwear the other day, and everyone was looking at me like a weirdo. But I jump in the ring, I'm a
It's
hero.
normal.
Good, it's normal.
It's expected even.
Anyways, he says he made up this gimmick. He stole my gimmick. He saw that this guy's scummy. I'm gonna do this scummy
I was
thing.
scummy before I ever
No,
met
you
you.
weren't.
I've
No,
always
you
been
weren't.
scummy.
You know what? Truth be told me, I thought you were gonna be like a surfer, bro.
That's just because of the hair.
He
And
loves
it's
the beach,
bigotry.
though.
I can't surf. He surfs.
Oh.
He
I
loves
can
the
barely
beach.
fucking
Love it.
swim.
No,
I don't like the water.
I honestly
I don't like
thought
the sand.
when I saw you, I honestly thought it was gonna be like a beach, like sort of, which basically almost what you are, like just a beach.
I live
He
in
looks
a
like he
van.
rents kayaks out, right? He looks like he rents kayaks out.
Fuck you. I worked.
Hey, no cursing.
Okay, we're no curse.
Relax.
I live in Venice
too late
Beach.
for
bro.
that.
I live like the beach bum lifestyle. I live in a van on Venice Beach, and I do live that material. Like I own very little things. I just bang weights and fucking get drunk and stuff. But I don't surf. I don't like being in the water. I like being around the water.
Wait, what
I don't
time am I
want to
dropping off at your mom's house again?
Okay, that's fine.
I don't remember.
Whatever. My mom lives in Chicago. He's being an asshole.
They got two houses.
They got two young. We live in an apartment. I've never lived in a house in my life.
Oh my goodness.
Push my
The
buttons, bro.
implosion of
Push
the
my
ring
buttons
worms before our
everywhere.
very eyes.
Yeah. This
Bro,
will be the last
down
interview.
there.
Yeah.
Push my buttons.
All right,
Yeah,
so
so
Rob, what makes you? You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna get to your story in the next question, but as far as wrestling, what makes you?
Where do I start?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just taking the past and putting it in the present.
Yeah.
That's mainly it.
All right.
There's no gimmick.
Yeah.
He's like,
Except for the fake tattoos on my face.
Yeah, that's
That's
all.
a press eye. That's
Yeah.
sharp. It's all
And the hair extensions.
Oh, those face tats are real, right?
Yeah.
No, I wake up every morning, draw them on. I put on the Ultimate Warrior videos. And I go.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah. All right, so let's
Well,
see.
hold on, I wasn't done.
Oh shit.
What else?
Let's go.
What do you have to say?
You know, I was a singer in a band called Bucket Flush.
Plugs his band.
This guy.
I was gonna
Can you put the little tag of the band in the?
Yeah,
You can?
it'd be alright.
Okay, thanks. Right when I do it, when I point at the camera, I have it right here. Is it still filming? It's going, right?
It's going the whole time.
Oh shit! All right,
Hey,
hey,
stop, dude.
hey, all right.
It
You
doesn't
gonna stop?
stop.
Just cut? No.
Okay.
All right,
So
all right,
we
I got
gonna get.
They'll edit that out.
I'm gonna bring
They'll
that
edit
back
out.
around. I'm gonna bring that back around for the
Yeah.
next question. I want you to talk about that. All right. You are military, right? You're
Yeah.
military.
Yes, sir.
All right. So share some of that background.
Share some of that. Well, that's the only reason I ended up starting wrestling at all, because where I'm from, there. I mean, there's one prominent wrestling school like 3-hour drive away. That's real. I wouldn't have been able to do that every day. But once I joined the military, got sent out to California. Now there's abundance of wrestling schools. Just pick your poison, whichever one you want to go to.
Right.
So yeah, that's really how I got my start.
Okay.
And then yeah, I saw a Facebook ad at the real reason I ended up at SoCal Pro. I saw a Facebook ad. Rey Mysterio was doing a show. He got booked there with one of their anniversary shows. I think it was their 10th anniversary show. And like a few months later, I started.
So in the military, were you think about wrestling all the way through?
For sure. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
always the goal. I mean, it's the story everybody's heard from the moment I was, saw Jeff Hardy do a swanton off a ladder. I was like, yes, I want to do that.
Okay. Cool,
So,
cool.
It's always been in the back of my mind as a plan.
And lastly, you said you were high school football and all that. So you got the leg tat and everything. So you must have been a football god in high school.
I mean, I did okay. I did all right for myself. No.
Okay. So was it wrestling? But wrestling was untimely the ultimate dream.
Well, yeah, I wanted to wrestle, but they didn't have wrestling in my school. I went to a really small school.
Yeah, you were like me. I want.
Yeah, we had like 90 people in our class. Everybody knew everybody's business. So 90. Yeah, and then. So football, I figured, okay, it's the next closest thing. It's physical. There's contact sport.
Yeah. Okay. Baron, your roots. What made you want to get into wrestling?
Well, I've loved wrestling my whole life. I watched it. I'm like a Hulkamaniac, and then I started wrestling in grade school, and then I started doing jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai, and I had a bunch of MMA fights and shit. And then I retired. I stopped doing MMA, and I still watched wrestling. Like I got back into wrestling and shit.
Yeah.
And I was working and traveling. I'd live in a van, drive all around, do van stuff all over the country, and then work seasonally on the farms. And I was passing through LA because I was doing I write, so I was writing stuff. And I wanted to do work shoot type stuff, looked like MMA. And I stopped at the Santino's, and Robbie Phoenix, he gave me a personal, and he's showing me how to do stuff, how to work punches, how to make shit look good. He's like, you should just be a fucking wrestler. He's like, you're good at this shit, instantaneously. I was like, shit, maybe. So then I stopped working up north. I knew I wasn't going to go down there. I was moving down to LA, and I was like, well, I'm going to write, and I'm going to work, but I've always wanted to wrestle, and I can only wrestle for so long. I'm falling apart at the seams. My body's fucked. If I don't do this now, I'm never going to get to do it. So I was just like, fuck it, let's do it.
And what was your MMA record?
7-3.
All right, man. So you wasn't playing around.
I had 10 fights. It was that was my life. I took my first fight a week after I turned 18. So 18 to 22, I'd take 3 fights a year. 2 to 3 because I was in college too. I was doing college shit. So yeah, that was my whole life, and then just stopped being fun. Once you stop doing it's a cool hobby. It's a shitty job. So when it's your hobby and you're just fucking beating people up and taking fights and getting drunk, it's cool. But when it becomes your entire life,
It's like, if I don't win, I'm screwed.
Exactly. It's all this pressure and all this work, and you're training for 3 months at a time for 5 minutes of fighting. It just kind of stopped being fun. I was like, I don't really want to do this as a job. And I did a lot of drugs, so that also added between the drugs and the lack of motivation. It kind of set me into this dark place. But we all get dark places sometimes, and we figure it out.
It happens to all of us. Yeah.
All of
One day
us.
I'm gonna touch on that, myself. So, yeah, appreciate that. So my man, he has a story to tell.
Oh yeah,
So,
you know that friend that always wants to wrestle around,
Yeah.
and watches wrestling videos and is trying to convince you that this is the end all be all.
Yeah.
Just that was a part of my life, obviously. And then I was in a band where also extreme band. I'd run around in ladies' panties and smack drinks out of people's hands and elbow drop people through tables. And then it's you could tour in a band and do that for 10 years, but it really kind of weighs on you, because you got to get 4 other guys to get on board, and then it's you know what? Let me see how far Rob can go. Let me see how far Rob Shea can go.
And now he's in a
And now he's in a team.
Well, hold on, no, I got screwed up. Yeah. And then it all went, and then I was like, But here's the deal, I can go wrestle by myself at the drop of a hat. I'm out of here, man.
All right. So briefly, man, 'cause you have a million and one stories to tell, but just briefly talk about your travels, and we all heard your stories at Bucket Flush.
Yeah.
So talk about the band Bucket Flush and just just give us one good story of just one of those crazy train freight rides you told us.
Oh yeah, started living in abandoned houses around 18, 19 years old, and then living that lifestyle, running with that crowd with punk rockers and runaways and crazy murderers. Well, you find out later they're murderers, but you kind of have a good idea. And then riding around on freight trains, seeing the country. My time is mine. I don't care about money. That'll come wherever I find it. You know what I'm saying? So then, after a while, you're I'm talented. I'm a musician. I can get a band together and
Yes, sir.
go tour the world, and that's what I did. I went to Europe and played shows in Mexico and played shows in Canada and the United States, and so I was like, hey, what better way, you know, instead of riding freight trains and being a hobo, is you tour in a van and have a place to stay every night, and you know, girls want to talk to you and you get fed. Seemed like the logical answer to me. I mean, it doesn't really take a rocket scientist to figure out these, you know, this lifestyle, you know, and then apply all that, you know, after you get to a certain age, you're like, well, you know what, I'm gonna be a wrestler, dude. Like,
Wow.
I could get in good shape, hang around a more positive crowd, and you know,
Not that
yeah, more
Not that side
positive
of the
crowd.
table.
Maybe a guy like Jordan Cruz, you know.
Yeah, man.
You're a good influence on us,
Yeah,
bro.
Yeah, man.
And yeah, I've always been a bit rowdy in the bars and on the streets, you know. Like this guy one time asked me for $1, and I gave him $1, you know, and I was living on the street too. And I walked back out, and he asked me for another $1, and I was like, dude, I just gave you $1. And this old man, he's like 60 years old, and he gets up and he's like, puts his dukes up. I was like, you gonna try and fight me? Old man.
Is this how this is
And he
going
takes
now?
one swing, and I dip back, crack him in the face, and then picked up one of them road signs, you know, that are blinking, you know, that stop traffic, and then just smashed him in the face, you know, and just was like,
This is awesome.
I was like, that's what you get, you know.
That's what you get.
You are
So then my friends, some guys like, yo, the cops are coming, obviously, and then you know,
But he did give him $1 on his way in.
I took the $1 out back though, yeah,
Okay,
but I
that's
gave him $1 on the way.
Yeah,
in.
no.
He had $1.
He was a man on the street.
Not
He
for
did-
long.
He did not have many dollars. He still managed to share with this man,
Yeah.
but then the man got greedy.
When someone asks me for money, and I'm not gonna think like, oh, you're just gonna use it on booze, because that's what I'm doing with it. You know, so why act like I'm better than someone because I have some dead presidents in my pocket? You know?
That makes sense, man. That makes sense, man.
But-
I can't wait to post this interview. This is gonna be awesome, bro.
Is it recording right now?
Yeah,
It's been-
bro. We've been
Oh,
recording
really?
forever, bro.
I thought we were just hanging out.
But check this out. So check
Pretend like
this
it's
out.
not even there. It's not
Yeah.
even there.
Next one. Goals. So, what do you have plans for? What do you want for your future in pro wrestling? You know what I'm saying? Of course, everybody wants to know that. Everybody wants to know. You know, now that you're gonna find people, you're a brand new audience, obviously.
Of course.
So, what are your goals in pro wrestling? What do you want to do, bro?
Man, just to take what I make from it, dog. Like, when I first started, I would say my whole entire goal was to be signed. And I think that's most people's, like, aspirations when you grow up. You're not, like, in it. You're in it to make it to the big stage, all right? I'm not saying that's not a goal of mine, but also making sure that's not my end-all, be-all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not making that, like, if I don't do it, then I'm a failure. You know? I'm going to go at it and, you know, try to make a career out of it and make myself and be the best possible wrestler that I can become. As long as I do that, I'll be satisfied. And whatever comes with it, whether it's being signed, whether it's staying here, whether it's going somewhere else, going overseas, that's cool. It's all gravy after that.
You've been having the opportunity lately to do the prime time pay per view.
Yes.
How did it feel to wrestle on pay per view and live television?
Well, it's definitely different. That was actually my first time on any type of television at all. So, a completely new experience for me, but an absolute great learning experience. I was in there with a great freaking dude, Chris Dickinson, who, I mean, he's going
One of
all
my
over
favorites,
the
yeah.
place. Like, he just wrestled the AEW champion on GCW, you know, so he's doing a lot of big things, and he's super free. He's just super rad. He was a super big help for me too.
Yeah.
But no, it was cool being around all those guys, and like, hey, I was one of them, even if it was for one night. So
Yeah,
it's just a blessing.
It's motivation to get back there.
Yeah, that's a blessing. Yeah. 'Cause, I felt like I said, I remember my first locker room when they had names. You know,
Yes.
I felt like it was West Coast wrestling. I felt like I was somebody. I said, there's so and so. There's so and so. I'm in here. You know.
Yeah.
So that's a beautiful feeling, and it's crazy because a lot of the guys who are signed, you know, are help. You know, there's a lot of cool guys. There's a lot of chill guys that really want to look out for the future. So I appreciate that, man. So, goals. Where do you see yourself?
I want to get drunk. I want to get laid. And I want to have some badass matches, like you know.
Okay. We brought it back to wrestling. I was like,
My main goal, bro, I want to party. I want to have a good time. I want to work in front of hot crowds. I love crowds where I'm fucking into it. So you got to be good at wrestling to work in front of fucking hot crowds. But like, here's the other thing: is my brain, even if my like priorities are fucking like booze and women, like I'm always pushing myself. I can't not push myself. I'm up to 235, bro. I'm fucking banging them weights.
21-inch pythons.
Boom! Look at them. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on. You're wearing a hoodie. You covering that arms up because you think we're gonna be on camera
This ain't
together.
for free.
Okay. Yeah. You need to pay for his own
Pay to
fans.
play, don't it?
But like, just like whatever happens. Like, if I was I'm always pushing myself to be better because I can't fucking help it, you know. So as good as I get, that's as good as I get. If I get fucking signed, that's cool. But I want to get signed for me, you know.
Yeah.
Like I want to get signed for the promos I am, the character. I don't want to get signed and be like, all right, you're gonna be a fucking
Change
plumber
yourself.
now, you know, and then we're gonna cut your hair,
Yeah.
and you're gonna be fucking working to kids. Like I don't want to work in front of kids. I want to work in front of drunk adults because they're fun, you know. Like
well, Amped is kind of good.
yeah, I will work in front of that.
Oh, well, we kind of like it.
Don't make it. I like all you guys. Like I like fucking working.
I'm messing with
I'm just saying my goal ain't to like clean my act up so that I can be on TV.
You know, certain companies, and we're not here to diss major companies and things like that. You know, we've been through. You can watch how many YouTube documentaries and my man Brian Zane wrestling with Ricky Red and all these a lot of good shows that, and they show where people got that they were themselves, and when they got to the majors said you got to do this, and this, and they were feeling themselves, and they easily walked away from contracts and things because, like I said, if you're not being you, then
That's what I want.
Yeah.
Bro. I want success, but I want success on my terms. You know,
Yeah.
I want people to like me for the work I do, for who I am, for the things I say. I don't want for someone to look at me as a piece of putty that they can mold like into a caveman. Because I got a caveman, bro, a caveman fan, or
Yeah.
whatever.
You work
bro.
perfect
I think
on
that's a
those
great
kinds of
idea.
commercials.
Both you
So
guys
I
shut
think
the
caveman,
fuck up,
caveman,
stop.
caveman.
I've seen mirrors. I know what I look like. All right.
when I
We've all
met
cracked.
you, this is the first. I thought a lion.
The hair, yeah.
No,
don't
I
make
thought
don't
you had
make
a
it sound
lion
cool.
face.
No.
Please don't
Hey,
make it
Lions
a caveman,
Right.
a caveman
Lions
is
are awesome.
Fuck you guys.
A caveman is effed up.
Yeah.
When I first met him, I was like, "Oh, this guy reminds me of a lion." You know?
Yeah, no. That's
But
cool.
caveman
He
is
does a
cool.
lot of
Lion
lying.
is
He does a
cool.
lot of lying.
Fucking line after line after line.
And the last part of that,
No, you didn't.
and the last part of that question. So check this out. I remember I used to see you. Well, first I would see you doing the ring stuff for Santino's because Santino's. Then I would see you at the WPW shows, and I remember I always ask you, "Hey, you ready? You ready to debut yet?"
Yeah.
And you would say, "So now you on the move," and then I hear you say Milwaukee. How does that feel? We all had that feeling from doing Ring Crew to being on the scene. How do you feel now?
I feel great, man. Just being able to go somewhere, like to being told that you're enough, you know, reaching out to companies you don't know and being like, this is who I am, check out my stuff, this is who I've become, because we've all worked really hard for that, you know, like, I may be a scumbag, but I'm a hard-working scumbag, and we've all put in hours and hours at the gym honing our craft and getting better, and
Yeah.
like, having that validation to be like, where you hit someone up and be like, hey, let me work on your show, here's my match, here's my highlight, blah, blah, and they look in there like, fuck yeah, get on in here, like,
Yeah.
it feels good to be validated that way. So,
Yeah.
and I tear Milwaukee up, brother. Love me.
Oh yeah.
Love me. We're going out there in December.
Wisconsin.
We're bringing the rings. The worms are coming to Milwaukee. It's gonna be a hell of a time.
Get ready, get ready, man. So, and my
What was
man
the
right here. what's
The goal.
Yeah.
Just to get as many places as I can, get as much exposure as I can, and just if you gotta fly yourself in your own dime just to get some experience, some exposure, then do it. You know, like you could be the hometown hero. Not saying I am for only so long, but if you start going out and going places, you're like, yo, he was here and he was here.
Yeah.
Then you seem like, all right, let's get some traction, and then people will give you a chance. You know?
We want to tour because we've lived in vans. We know about that life, so we can fly out to the East Coast and we can rent a van or get a van from a buddy and live in a van for 3 weeks. That's nothing to us, you know. So that's what we're trying to do is to get places and book like a bunch of shows, you know, and then just take the van around and hit all the towns and shit.
I don't blame you.
Yeah,
bro.
classic punk rock ethos. Like you want to go out and you just head out there, communicate, network, and try to be easy to get along with, and
So easy to get along.
and
Look at you guys.
make it happen.
Yeah, let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. Yeah. All right, and last question, because myself, Amped Up, we real community based. We're not just about pro wrestling. We are about issues and things like that, and we want to help our communities and things like that. So we'll go around. And how do you feel about what's going down in the world today? It's all of us, we're here, and we all buddies, we all laugh, we all enjoy each other's company. Different race, our races never came up. We just enjoy each other's company, we laugh, and all that good stuff. At the same time, a lot of America just ain't thinking like that. You know what I'm saying? They don't, like I said, a bunch of y'all came to Inglewood, we barbecued today, we having a good time, and that never even crosses none of our mind. So what do you feel about the climate of today along with this election and everything? What do you feel that should and can happen, and just some of the thoughts about what's going on?
I just think we need to have more times like this, because like you said, like race it wasn't even a discussion with any of us. You know what I mean? It's just people, people being together, like-minded, equal, having intellectual, maybe not always intellectual conversation. But
I thought that's why we're here.
I've never heard you say anything intellectual.
No, I have it from you guys, which I love that. So, no, I think that's it. People just need to talk to each other. I think there's a lot of action and a lot of, quick to rush to that action as opposed to, hey, let's talk and have an understanding with each other. So that's all, from my perspective, but my perspective is not everybody else's, so.
We'll appreciate your perspective. Thank you. Man?
Kind of the same shit, we are more the same than we are different. Obviously, you face different adversities than I do, but black, straight, or fucking black, white, gay, straight, man, woman, all that shit pales in comparison, we're all just working class motherfuckers, we are in this shit. It's the rich and the poor is the only thing that's really being separated, and we go through more of the same struggles than we go through different struggles.
Yes, sir.
And we forget that, especially we see stuff on social media and online, and we see all this stuff, and everyone's built as the enemy, and we build each other up as being not the same. Like he was saying, once you sit down and talk to people, it's like, no, we have differences, but we got way more in common. We just want to be happy and healthy, and we want the same for our loved ones. It's that's all anyone wants.
That's what's up, man.
We can go together and move towards that. We just need to remember that we all want the same shit.
Yeah. And I def want to hear from you
God.
too,
Yeah,
because you've dealt with skinheads, rappers, gangsters,
For sure, dude.
of all colors.
For
you
sure.
done ran into them all, and you have treated all of us the same. You could have had experiences where you could have said, you got thousands. You could have said,
Of course.
but you are just on the same way.
I think it goes without saying. You don't even have to say you should respect your fellow man and base your opinion on their character. That's it. And I think that we should, I think that when it comes time to talk wrestling or do sports, I think we should leave everything at the door and allow us to flourish in our experience of that moment of watching wrestling or listening to wrestling podcasts, and stop saturating and ruining it. Because if I was a little kid and I'm watching sports and they're talking political stuff, it's going to go like this. And now I'm going to go, what should I be concerned? Is there a boogeyman out there? Is my friend racist? I just think these worlds need to be separated and just go with the basic foundation of respect your fellow man. And if someone's being rude to you, make them think about what they're doing instead of crucifying them.
Yeah.
You can yell at someone and tell them that they're not right, but these people that have closed and narrow-minded are always not exposed to anybody else besides their own small circle.
Yeah.
Goes it up.
We're
That's
not
all I
saying
say
these
about it.
problems don't exist.
Yeah.
Racism's a really real thing. If you
Yeah,
think
of
it's not,
course.
you're just a fucking idiot, All bigotries are real things. But we gotta remember that there's assholes out there. Nobody likes those assholes, We gotta remember that we're on the same page, despite everything that it seems like sometimes.
Yeah. Appreciate y'all for the response and answer. Appreciate all you guys for coming out today, man. beautiful. Not only, like I said, wish you guys could have seen, but not only did we just shoot this amazing interview, but we all, like I said, like we just talked about, we just ate, fellowship, had a lot of laughs. Man drove all the way from San Diego. They drove from a workout. You know what I'm saying? We all just came here to have fun, and we're going to continue. What you up to? We're going to continue these interviews and podcasts. We're going to go around, let everybody know their social media, and then we're going to close it out. Man, my man Jordan.
All right, yeah, follow me. Or add me on Facebook.
Let the camera know.
There he is, right there. Add me on Facebook at Jordan Cruz, or on Instagram and Twitter, both at Jordan Cruz Pro. I actually had a fake account pop up. He was calling himself like Johnny Champion and like all this stuff.
No.
Yeah, it was a whole problem, and this guy was just stealing my shit. So Jordan Cruz Pro, that's the only place you can find me. Anywhere else, that's a buster. All right.
He's a buster. My man Baron.
On Instagram, we are at the Ringworms, you know, and then also I have my personal Instagram at my name is Baron Rotza, BARONROTZA. So yeah, the Ringworms. My name is Baron Rotza. Check us out.
And I am Rob Shit at The Rock.
It's a joke.
It's like the worst.
We make the worst in your fucking.
No, check out The Infection Rob Shit on Instagram. Or check me out on the Facebook.
What's your handle, idiot?
What's that mean?
It's at the _infection.
Oh, yeah. At _infection.com.
That's not.
They'll just put it in. It'll
Just go to
pop
the
up right next to
Ringworms.
it.
Go to at the
It'll just
Ringworms.
pop up right there.
If you want to find him, maybe look for him.
Yeah, you want to find him?
I just
ask
said
me.
The
I will
Infection.
send
But he
you
is Rob
towards
Shit,
it.
though.
The Infection Rob Shit. You'll just Google it. You'll find it.
There's only one Rob Shit.
Yeah, there's no other.
There's no other Rob Shit
No other
somewhere.
Rob Shit. There's only
It's not really hard to figure this one out.
All right.
If you don't find me, I'm not surprised.
It's your boy Sean Black. Remember, Jay, at the bottom of the screen, and put the support, where to support me at. Also, follow official_amped up wrestling and at Comptomania on IG. Follow Amped Up Wrestling on Twitter and like us on Facebook at Amped Up Wrestling. All right, so
That's pretty good. That's how you do it.
That's how he's been practicing that in the mirror.
Just follow me at The Rock.
it's your boy Sean Black. We got another podcast. Thank you for tuning in. Y'all take care. Good night.